Alright, so today's value episode brought to you by Emergency Gummies, because both Chris and I are struggling. Chris more than me because he's not that strong of a body. But
I'm normally handling it really well. I've been sick, man. I performed at this bar.
Alright, scoot up a little bit.
Dying yesterday.
Yeah. By the way, these things are delicious, right?
They do taste good, yeah.
They're really good. Okay. So we're in Bethesda.
Yeah.
You had a show in Baltimore last night.
Yeah. We're in Rockville, I think.
Well, it says Bethesda North, Marriott, but it's weird.
Southern Maryland is a cluster of towns that are all essentially the same town.
That's actually true, I've seen. Not at a really cool restaurant last night. I don't know how much you can really say about it because it's kind of a hush-hush kind of a thing. Sorry, we had this great build-up and now we're like, sorry, I can't tell you. But not a really beautiful restaurant right there in Baltimore. And it's a running gig for you.
Yeah, essentially it's a group called Atlas Restaurant Group that has a lot of high-end restaurants in the Baltimore area. They have a outdoor restaurant that essentially leads into a.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. It's romantic.
It's like an outdoor patio of the lights that string across, and it's really nice.
It feels like Christmas all year round around there, but it's not tacky colored lights. It's just beautiful.
Did you say the name of the restaurant?
I think it's Telgata is the name of the restaurant.
Oh no, it's
Tagliata.
Tagliata.
I'm so glad you corrected me. Yeah,
Tagliata.
Tagliata. Oh man, we were about to do them dirty. Yeah.
Sorry.
Tagliata, and then you go to the back, and there's a bar called the Elk Room, and that's pretty much that's a name people might recognize.
Yeah, they know that. And then he performs in there.
Yeah.
So sort of. Well, we can't go into it much more than that because. I'm surprised they haven't had you sign an NDA or anything.
I did at some point. Not an NDA.
Okay.
I just sort of signed a contract saying that I wouldn't release photos or video of the interior.
Yeah, no photos in there, no video in there, but a really beautiful place.
Let me tell them what the idea of this place was.
First tell them how you got the gig in the first place.
Yeah, and I hate to even say this because I'm not that I'm not a proponent of these websites. I just feel that people are gonna. These websites are overused. I got it through Thumbtack, honestly.
Yeah, but Thumbtack is something that it's not something that... Thumbtack is something that you set up a while back.
I will say this, and I'm not saying this for my own ego or anything. I literally did help design the magicians category of Thumbtack because I was on the phone with their executives, some of their engineers and designers.
Really?
Discussing what we think they should improve on with magicians. And
you were there pretty much from the beginning.
Yeah, they always fix it and then they make it way worse. So right now it's in a pretty good state, but it does fluctuate so much. But they do look out for you and they do listen to feedback. So Thumbtack's a decent one. I know I'm saying this and I'm gonna, it's gonna flood out with people, but it's a sort of a losing battle because you kind of had to be there from the beginning to get any gigs on it at all. So
yeah, because you have to build up your reputation on there, pretty much, right?
Yeah, I got super lucky. In fact, I actually got asked to perform for Thumbtack. They took.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm in their top 2% of, and not even just magicians, of just people in general.
People on that site, yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So this gig though, it's a running gig for you. So they found you on there, and tell them because they didn't want you added on to what they originally said they wanted, right? So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, they reached out to me and they just wanted to try something new for their members. They had Blake Voigt in there, shout out to Blake Voigt, and they thought it went so well for their members. They're like, wow, having a magician's awesome, but hey, we can't just be flying in the sky every single month.
Yeah.
They're like, what can we do next month that will be just as big and we can get members to come in? Because these are guys who are paying tons of money to be a part of this. Essentially, they want to pay for privacy, right? There's this bar that there's high-profile people, celebrities, business owners that always have to be around people who want to ask them questions and poke their brain. They get to go into a place that's filled with like-minded people, and they say, how do we entertain these guys, provide value for them, so they want to come here more than just have privacy, which they can get in their own home.
Right.
So they bring out performers like me. They'll bring out cigar rollers.
They have a whiskey tasting coming up.
Yeah, they do a lot.
They have a chef tonight.
Chef Julian.
Yeah,
he's actually pretty well known.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they originally wanted to book me for 1 month, and I told them, I said, hey, let's do this. I'll come in, and they couldn't afford essentially what I was calling them. I said, I'll come in and I'll do this for half what I quoted you, but I just ask that you have me in the following month if it goes well. I was like, and I'm not saying that you have to say it went well when it didn't. Just like, if this goes well, I just ask that you take half of what I'm supposed to be paid this month and pay it for me next month so I can come back up. Because I knew the value of being in a place like this, I'd be able to pick up more gigs. So it wasn't like, hey, I'm just trying to talk down my price so I can get hired. Never do that. I just knew that the type of clientele that is in here, if I can go month after month, I can pick up gigs, which I actually have already.
Yeah, it's a very ROI positive environment, right?
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, and it's it's one thing, like when you're starting out, and this is something that I did too, was you got to do. I mean, the debate on free work versus
do free work.
Yeah, do free work, especially in the beginning. It's even more so, especially if you don't have like videos of yourself out there performing or photos performing. Like, do free work and then ask like a friend of yours to come take photos, at least to have something. And then when you start to get paid, then pay someone to come out there and do a professional video of you, take professional photos of you. That's something that you've done, and that is proven. Now you've got professional things that you can put on your site, and you look better. But don't discount free gigs.
And if you're scared to do free gigs, so you should do free gigs until your calendar dates are more valuable than the benefit you'll get from doing a free gig.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah.
But if you are worried about it, let's say you are like, hey, well, don't ask for a free gig in December. It's September. I don't know. Maybe I'll get something that day.
Yeah.
Do something called a contingency clause, saying like, hey, I will come out perform for free. Granted, I can record and use the footage. However, if I get requested to perform at my actual rate for that day, I just ask that I am released to be able to go perform for pay for another gig. In that event, I will recommend another performer for you and make sure we do whatever it takes to get someone else in that spot for you so you're not left hanging. But I do want to be released to do that work. And more times than not, they'll say yes because they have a shot of getting you in for free. The other thing is, now you're giving them an extra push to pay for it, you could say. So we can do it with the contingency clause. If I do get asked to perform for my full rate, I will be released to go do that. The other side of that coin is, if you want to pay my full rate, you can lock it in and get it there permanently to make sure that you don't lose that date no matter what happens.
Yeah, and also too, those free gigs, you think, okay, well, I don't have anybody that's covering video for me or covering photos. You still can get testimonials, which is key. So make sure that you're trying to pull out as much of that free gig as you can to benefit the future business.
And even if it's just a one-word quote, that's one of my favorite things to do. Is just like, and you don't even know you're going to use it. If you come across somebody and you're like, oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm a CEO. I own this company. Oh, awesome. Hey, you know what? Give me one word that describes what you just saw, and they'll be like, mind-blowing or amazing. Now your website says. Actually, I met Bob Gale at a Comic-Con. I didn't even know who he was. Literally did not know. I did a trick for him, and he says, it was a comedy extreme burn routine. He goes, that's hilarious. And I think it was like a canned joke, like a joke every magician knows. That's hilarious. And then I later on went upstairs and saw he was giving a speech. I was like, wait, who is that guy? And he said, that's the guy who wrote Back to the Future. Next day on my website, hilarious. Bob Gale, writer, Back to the Future. So get just one word quotes. You never know the people who you're meeting. They'll be beneficial for you.
Yeah, very cool.